Okay, Mansi. So, you can attend the TA sessions. There they explain all the questions. I mean, there you can get the path or a way that how you can think about a question. Right. Today is one I mean, around in afternoon there is one TA session, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So how was it? What's your review on that?
Nice, ma'am.
It was nice, right?
It was helpful.
Okay.
Ma'am, what the TS session was about?
TA session actually for activity and practice assignments question, whatever there are some tough questions. So the TA will go through those questions so that if anyone has any doubt, they can ask there.
For maths
Or they
or
can just, for maths, for this
okay.
course, maths. Okay, so let's start.
Theory start from
Means theory start from for this session.
coordinate session.
For this session, we start with coordinate geometry or coordinate systems. And we go up to, I'll try to go up to SSC, but let's see. We won't rush.
Ma'am,
Right?
do you take the stats also? Statistics?
No, I won't take stats. I
Only
only
maths.
take
Okay.
maths courses.
Okay.
कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम कितनी देर में स्टार्ट हुआ?
बस 5 मिनट 2 मिनट.
क्यों अभी स्टार्ट नहीं हो सकता?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have a question. Where can we get some practice questions for this?
For coordinate geometry,
Yes, ma'am.
On the portal?
you can, I mean, there are activity and practice questions. Other than that, if you want to practice, you can go through NCERT. I think NCERT has some of these topics, lines and coordinate geometry,
Okay,
the
ma'am.
section formula and all. But for SSC, I don't think NCERT cover SSC topic. So for SSC, I'll suggest you go through the previous term questions, or yeah, you can find previous term questions on the discourse. I think we uploaded all the previous term questions on discourse, so that questions will be helpful.
Ma'am, where are the previous year questions uploaded?
On the discourse, there is one page for maths 1, so you can get access. I mean, you have access to the discourse, right? You have your discourse ID.
What is that? We are not aware. Could you please elaborate? What idea are you talking about?
Actually, there is one discourse portal for all BA students. So there you can ask your doubts, and all the material for the course is also uploaded there. I mean, the previous term questions or the assignments and all things.
You're
So I
saying,
think you guys are not qualified yet. So that's why you don't have discourse.
you mean the
ID.
It's
discourse
for
board?
the foundation level.
For the foundation level.
मैम एससीटी टेस्ट कब लगेगा?
Sorry, what?
एससीटी टेस्ट
Which test?
एससीटी सिस्टम कंपेटिबिलिटी टेस्ट.
That I don't know. You can ask someone else.
Excuse me, ma'am. After qualifying the
Yes. Hmm.
hello, ma'am. Actually, I am a JEE category student.
Hmm.
So in the week 1 assignment of mathematics, we had a question regarding the set of polluted ponds. In
Yeah.
that question, the answer that was given from the institution side was it was a
Mhm.
symmetric and transitive relation according to them.
Yeah, right.
But ma'am, actually, should it also not be reflexive relation too?
Reflexive, I think we have solved that question. That in that relation, does every element is related to itself?
That means the relation that was given, it was mentioned that
Huh?
within the set of 525 ponds, according to the data that I remember, and those ponds which are polluted both by pharmaceutical products and pesticides or fertilizers, I think so. So that intersection part was considered. So in that intersection of both the sets, they have to be related with each other, right? That is obvious that a pond which is polluted by both is obviously related with itself also in that relation, according to that.
Okay, I'll check that question and let you know. Which,
Yeah, actually,
can you tell me the question number or something?
Plus question number
Specific
5,
location?
in my display, it was showing question number 5. I don't know it is jumbled for every user or not.
Graded assignment, it's a graded assignment question.
So yeah, it was a graded assignment question for week 1.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
okay, I'll
the
check.
question
I'll check.
regarding the polluted ponds.
Okay.
Okay.
So today, in today's TA session, you guys also discuss about week 1 graded assignment, na? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. But I'll check that question. If there is any ambiguity, I'll check. Okay. So
Ma'am,
let's
I'm
get,
submitted the week 1 assignment, ma'am, but it shows absent to me.
You
Now,
submitted,
one more
but
thing,
it shows option absent.
No, I submitted the answers, ma'am. In assignment, graded assignment for week 1, it shows absent in the results.
It's a
For
glitch.
mathematics.
It's a glitch. It will got updated in few days. You don't have to worry. I have also faced this problem once time.
now one more thing. In stat assignment, they were showing a score that your score is so and so. But in mathematics assignment, we were not being shown. Means actually, I am not getting to see any kind of score or something like that at the top of the window.
Okay, so
But
it should be
they're
there.
showing that it has been submitted, but they're not showing any score.
The deadline is over. Yeah, it is on
Yeah,
2, right?
obviously it is.
2nd October is the deadline. So I'll check with the support team. I think they handle all this stuff. So I'll let you
Madam,
know.
all some
And some of the
boundaries
students
we
are
should
not.
concentrate on this session because we
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
complete
I'll
by
just
10 o'clock. Yeah, please tell everyone to follow the rules because
Yeah.
this is quite a long chapter and we have to complete it today.
Okay, so we'll discuss all the technical doubt after 10. Okay, so just keep it with yourself.
This meeting
So let's
will
go
be
with
recorded,
the.
madam.
Yeah, it will be recorded. So let's
And available
start
over
with
the
the.
YouTube.
Obviously, it is. I mean, it's your. I mean, 2nd or 3rd session. It will be available on YouTube. Yeah, I'll just mute you all. After the topic is over, I'll unmute you and then you can ask it. Is that fine?
Yes. Yes. Please unmute and start, ma'am.
Yeah, so coordinate system first we understand what is our real plane. So real plane means, so you have a x-axis here and y-axis here. So this is known to be your real plane or your coordinate system, right? So here any point you can for any point you can actually give a precise location for that point, that how you can reach at that point. So that location is given by the distance. I mean, if you draw a perpendicular here, that here you will find a distance. I mean, you have some x coordinate of your point. Suppose this is a point P, then this point P actually have 2 coordinates. First is its x coordinate, so let's name it to be x1, and the second is y coordinate. So what is this x coordinate? So x coordinate is nothing but the distance from the origin toward the x direction. So that means whatever distance covered here, that will be your x coordinate. And what is the y coordinate? Whatever distance will cover over the y axis, that's your y coordinate. Okay, this is your y1. So that's how we can associate, or we can give a coordinate, or we can give a precise location to a point. So this whole thing is known to be your coordinate system. Okay, with the axis, with the points. Some people like to grid. I mean, there are grids, horizontal and vertical grid, as you see in the Desmos also. Just mute your. Okay, and another thing is. So some people like to give the grids on their coordinate system. That means grids are nothing, just the vertical lines and the horizontal line. You just make a block. And another thing is you can also give a points here. That means you can associate that that's a 1 unit. So you can give 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, and so on. It's a basic knowledge of coordinate system. Now there are several problems, several thing we can use here. That means we can actually give, suppose you have a point in your coordinate system, then we can actually calculate the distance of this point. Suppose again, this is a P of x1, y1 coordinate, then you can actually easily calculate the distance of this point from your origin, right? So this distance is actually given by the distance formula, and you can easily check that it's nothing but the hypotenuse of this right angle time, right? So this distance is simply x1, this distance is simply y1. So this distance via the Pythagoras theorem is nothing but under the root of x1 square plus y1 square, right? So via this knowledge, we say that the distance of distance between the point P and origin. So origin is the point where your x-axis and y-axis intersect each other. Okay, so that point is known to be origin, and the coordinate of that point we associate to be 0, 0. So the distance between the point P and the origin 0, 0 is given by under the root of x1 square plus y1 square, where the coordinate of point P is x1 and y1. Okay. Now, what happens if I want to find out the distance between any two points which is except origin? I mean, here I am fixing origin and then I am calculating the distance of any point. But let's say I don't want the origin to play a key role there. So let's say I'll take another point, name it to be R. Then how can we find out the distance between P and R? Okay, so what is the distance? So again, we use the right angle triangle rule, and you can easily find out that using some calculation, if the coordinate of this this point R is x2, y2, then the distance between these 2 points are nothing but, so the distance between the point P, which is with coordinate x1, y1, and the point, we name it to be R, so x2, y2. So it's given by under the root of x1 minus x2 square plus y1 minus y2 square, right? Again, we just use the Pythagoras theorem and compute our distance, okay? Because see, here also you can make a Pythagoras, right angle triangle using this quantity and this quantity. Okay, so what is this distance? So I hope, so this distance is nothing but this is x2, right? So this is x2 and this is x1. So that means the length of this point, so let's name it, this is our point P, so let's name it this to be M. So we know that Rm is nothing but x2 minus x1 or x1 minus x2. Since it's a distance, we always want a modulus, right? We don't want, suppose this is -2 and this is what? Yeah, we just want our modulus thing. That's why you can take x2 minus x1 or x1 minus x2. Anything will work. Okay. Now the second thing is this distance, and this distance is nothing but y2 minus y. Okay. So using the again Pythagoras theorem, we can easily calculate the distance between any two points. So in short, we can say, suppose we have 2 points with this coordinates, then the distance between these 2 points is given by this formula under the root of x1 minus x2 minus x1 square, x1 minus x2 square plus y1 minus y2 square. Okay. Now the next thing is the section formula. So what is the section formula? So suppose you have a line segment. So suppose this is your coordinate plane, the y-axis and the x-axis. Suppose this is your line, and you have one line segment. So what is a line segment? So line segment means you have 2 fixed points, and whatever length is there, that's your line segment. So this is your line segment, and this is known to be a line, right? This is line segment, and this is just a line. So suppose you have a line, and then over this line you have one line segment, and this point is Q and this point is P, and the coordinate of the point Q is let's again take x1 comma y1. The coordinate of point P is x2 comma y2. Now suppose you have another point, name it to be R, and this point actually intersect your line segment PQ in the ratio of M ratio N. So that means what is this ratio? So the ratio means if you have this full line to be, let's say it's this line to be length 1, then whatever distance here is ratio M, and the distance here is ratio. I mean, you guys are familiar with ratio, right? So what does the ratio means? So suppose we have a point R which intersect the line segment PQ into the ratio M ratio N, then how can we calculate the coordinate of this point R? That's our main goal. Okay. So for that, again, we use the geometry. So what is our geometry here? So suppose if I make a right triangle here, right angle triangle here. So suppose this is my right angle triangle, and let's name this point to be A. And again, if I make another right angle triangle here, let's name this point to be B. Then we know that this these two triangles, that means the triangle QAR, is actually similar to the triangle RBP. And whenever we have two similar triangles, then the ratio of their respective edges are same. So that means if you take the ratio of this edge with this edge, that will be same as the ratio of this edge with this edge, and similar with this edge. So that means at the end, what we get? So we get a formula. That means the M ratio N is nothing but the same. I mean, the ratio of this length with this length is same as the ratio of this QA. So that means the ratio with QA. So here, observe, in the numerator, I am taking all the lengths related to this triangle. Okay, and then in the denominator, I'm taking the ratio of all edges related to this uppermost triangle, the triangle PBR, right? So here, if I'm taking the edge QA, then what is the corresponding edge to the uppermost triangle? Is the edge RB, right? So here QA ratio RB. And this is same as the ratio of these two edges. That means AR ratio with PB. AR ratio with PB. Okay. Now here, from the above formula, we can actually calculate what is our AQ and what is our RB and what is our PR and PB, because this line segment is nothing but a distance between 2 points Q and A. So if you calculate it and do a little bit of calculation, then if I assume that the coordinate of this point R is nothing but x comma y, then we get a formula for x is nothing but m of x2 plus n of x1 upon m plus n, and y is nothing but m of y2 plus n of y1 upon m plus. Just a calculation, you just have to substitute all the values. So again, I'll just say what are the values. So suppose you have this, I mean the whole thing, if you take, so here just we have to observe that since this Q and A are over the same line which is parallel to x-axis. So if the coordinate of the point Q is x1 comma y1, then the coordinate of point A is nothing but, I mean the y coordinate will be y1. And what will be the x coordinate? And since A is in the same line, I mean this line, this AR is actually parallel to y-axis. So that's why the x coordinate of A will be the same x coordinate of the point R. So what is the x coordinate of point R? So x coordinate of point R is x. So that's why the coordinate of the point A is x comma y. And similarly, we will judge what are the coordinate of point B. So again, observe, since this point B is actually on the same level with point R, and the coordinate of point R are x comma y. So that means the y coordinate of point B will be same as the y coordinate of point R. So that means the y coordinate of point B is nothing but y. And since this PB line is parallel to our y-axis, so whatever, whatever value here, whatever distance here covered by the point B, same distance will be covered by the point B also, right? So that means this point P is covering x2 distance. So the point B also cover x2 distance. So that's why the x coordinate of this point B will be x2. Okay. So that means here we get all the points and all the coordinates. Now we can easily find out what are the length of each line segment and put into our ratio thing, right? So here if you substitute your values, then what happened? So this is same as, now this is QA. Okay, so we want to find out QA. So QA is nothing but the distance between the point Q and A. So since the coordinate of the point P, so the coordinate of Q are x1 comma y1, and the coordinate of point A are nothing but x comma y1. Why it is x comma y1? So it is x because it is on the same, I mean, whatever distance covered by the point R over the x-axis is same as the distance covered by the point A on the x-axis, right? Because the line segment AR is parallel to the y-axis. That's why its x coordinate is x and the y coordinate is y. So if you want to find out the distance between QA, we just use our section formula. And by the section formula, what we get x2 minus x1 and x1 minus x. You can do anything. So here if we do, let's take it to be x1 minus x. So it will be x1 minus x the whole square plus y1 minus y1 the whole square. So this term will become 0. So what is the value of line segment QA? So it's nothing but x1 minus x. Similarly, if we calculate all the values, we ultimately get that our m by n is nothing but equal to this is x minus x1. And similarly, if you calculate RB, so what happened? R has coordinate x comma y and B has coordinate x2 comma y. Okay. So here, if you use section formula, then y and y will get cancelled out. We just get x1, x minus x2, right? And similarly, if we calculate AR, so in AR, what is happening? X coordinate is same, but the y coordinate is different. So that's why we get y minus y1. And if we calculate PB, so in PB, the x coordinate is same and y coordinate is different. So that's why we get y minus y2. Okay. So now from here, if you try to find out the value of m and n using some multiplication or division, we will get this two section form. Okay. Now here it is mentioned that it's a section formula, but actually there are two cases. So one case is when your point intersect the line segment internally, and another one is externally. But in our course, we just say that if it is intersecting our line, what is externally means. So suppose this is your line segment. Suppose this is your P and Q. This is Q, this is P. And this line segment, is a part of some line. Okay. So if some point R intercept this line segment internally, that means in between the point Q and P, then it's known to be the internal section. I mean, it will divide this line segment internally. And there are some cases where this point actually intercept, or it's not the kind of intercept, but there is one thing which is known to be the external line segment. I mean, this ratio will be some m and this ratio will be some. So this thing we haven't discussed in our course. So it's a out of syllabus kind of thing. But it's good to know there are two cases for section formulas also. If you see this case somewhere else, you should not get confused. Okay. So in our case, we just deal with the internal section form. When our point intersect the line segment internally with the ratio m ratio. And then we have this formula. And how we derive? We just use the similarity of two triangles. Okay. So I'll unmute you. I mean, I'll give you, you can, or else we can do that. You guys can raise your hand if you have any doubt. I'll ask you to unmute and then we can discuss. Okay. So if you have any doubt, you can raise your hands. Yes, Alok.
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am, but here you discuss about the derivation of intersection or derivation of section formula, right? Ma'am, I am just qualified student, and this is also important for qualified exam.
Yeah, it is for qualified exam.
Yeah. I just remember the formula. It's enough for qualifier.
It's enough for, you just remember the formula, it is enough for qualifier. You don't have to do all the proof. But see, it's better to know how it comes, right? So that's why I did the proof. But for practice purposes, you just have to remember the formula, that's all.
Thank you. And ma'am, I have also a little question.
Yes.
Ma'am, when will you discuss about SSE? It's a last
At
topic
the
of the coordinate system.
end, yeah, it's a last topic, so I'll discuss it on the last only. Because before that, I have to cover the line, equation of line, right? So if I want to cover the equation, okay. Yes, Hari.
Hi, Renee. I have two doubts. One is the last part that you said that it's not parted. Could you please explain? Could you please repeat that part, the extension part that you?
See,
the other one
actually
is to
what
do,
happened? actually what happened, there is one more section formula. I mean, they call it to be section formula. So what happened? So if you have one section QP, and if some other point which is external to this section R, and if you suppose that this ratio is M and this ratio is N, then and if Q has some coordinate, and you know the coordinates of Q, and you know the coordinate of Q, P and Q, and if you want to find out the coordinate of R, so this is also known to be an external section formula, because here this point is actually not a part of our line segment PQ, it's some kind of external thing. So it's another thing. I think some of the JEE students know this thing. Yeah, so what happened in this case, this plus I think change into minus. It's, yeah, a little bit change happen when this point R is out of our line segment. So that's not a part of our syllabus.
Okay, thank you. And the second question is to do with the one that you described about the, could you scroll up?
Yeah.
With regard to the angle that you're talking about, where you're talking about P is the B is x2 comma y. There I'm getting this thing. I just want to, because you say P, where on the top you say P is x2 comma y2, whereas here you are talking about B is x2 comma y. Could you please explain that part? I'm not clear.
Yeah, sure. So see what happened. So here we have one triangle, right? So let's say this is our triangle. Okay, so here 2 point coordinates are, I mean 2 points are there. This is P, R, and this is B. So the coordinate of R actually assumed to be x comma y, because this is a thing we want to find. So that's why we give it to be an independent variables x and y. And for point P, we have given the coordinate x1 comma y1. Or here x2 comma y2 is, okay, x2 comma y2 is given, I think. So x2 comma y2. Now using these two coordinates, I have to judge what are the coordinate of point B. So what is happening? What are the coordinates? So in general, what are the coordinates? So if I want to find out the x coordinate of point B, so that means I have to find out what is the distance this distance is, right? So whatever this distance is, because if I draw a perpendicular here, that this will be the distance covered by the point P over the x-axis, right? So this distance will give us the coordinate of point, x coordinate of point B, right? So what is this distance from 0, 0 to this point? So what is this point? So actually what is happening here, this point B is lying just above the point B, right? I mean, this point P is lying just above the point B. So whatever distance, so if you draw the perpendicular with respect to point P also, it also intersect over the same point. So that means for point P, if my x coordinate is x2, so that means this distance is nothing but x2. So that's why the coordinate of x coordinate of point B is x2. So here we use the point knowledge that the point P is lying just above. So if I draw a perpendicular, it will intercept with the same point where the point B will intercept if I want to find out the x coordinate, right? Because if we have any point x comma y, then what are the coordinates? This distance will give us as the x coordinate, and this distance will give us the y coordinate, right? So here the distance is nothing but x2 because of the point P, and just lying above, that's why. Okay. Oh. And similarly, we calculate the y distance also. So this distance is nothing but y, right? This whole distance is nothing but y, because P and this point B and R actually lying over the same line. Whatever distance covered by the point R over the y-axis, it will be same for the point B also. So that's why the y coordinate is B. Okay. Is that fine?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Ma'am, is it possible to have a line which parallel to x-plane and making some angle with y-plane, ma'am?
For x-plane and y-plane are not such a thing, because here it's a one xy plane. Are you talking about line or
General, ma'am. I am talking about xy planes and not about this topic. I am talking out of the topic in general.
Okay. In general, there is no such thing for x-plane. Whenever we have plane, we have two variables, either xy, yz, or something like that. So
yeah, madam. In such case, I was just asking that is there possible to have a line which is parallel to x-plane and making some angle with y-plane?
Yeah, it is possible. You can just take two papers, take them on any angle, and just use a pen to show a line. That pen will be your line, and whatever two papers are there, that will be your plane. So yeah, it is possible.
Ma'am, it
Okay.
exactly making if I put pen which is parallel to horizontal line, if I put a pen on which is parallel to horizontal plane, ma'am, then
Yeah,
such
you
it
can put
makes
no.
a 90 degrees to y plane, right, ma'am? If it makes a 90
If
degrees.
you take precisely explain y plane, then obviously it is not true because it will take a 90-degree angle, correct? But if you take any plane, so any plane can be at any angles. If you take the
No, ma'am, I'm
precise
talking about
coordinate
XY
plane,
plane.
so then
XY
obviously it
plane.
will be 90-degree only.
It is not
Okay.
possible to have like such that, ma'am, when I was
No, it is not possible.
But I'm literally generally actually I'm doing engineering, ma'am, BTech. In our engineering graphics class, they said like this, ma'am, but I won't understand what those are till.
They will be either doing it into something 3D kind of thing. So there will be 3 planes. So you have one more plane. So about that plane, it can be happen. So I don't know actually. So we'll discuss it some time later. Okay. Yes, Devansh.
Yeah, ma'am. Please go upward.
Okay.
Yeah, ma'am. Stop. Here I can't understand that that QA. Actually, you had told that ma'am go downwards, please. Yeah, stop. X minus x1 upon x minus x2. For what output we are doing this operation? I can't understand this topic.
Actually, what happened? We have one line segment, and over that line segment, we have one point R, and we want to find out the coordinate of point R using the coordinates of point P and Q, right? So for that, we just use some geometry and evaluate. What we use. So here we use the similarity of two triangles. So whenever two triangles are similar, then whatever adjacent edges are there, that will be over the same ratio. So that means the ratio of this edge is corresponding to this edge is same. So that's why this ratio is coming into picture and this thing is happening. So overall, if you want to understand, so what we are doing, we just have a line segment PQ using the P and Q points are known to us, and we want to find out the coordinate of point R with the knowledge that this point R is actually dividing our line segment into M ratio. So what is the formula? So you can just remember the formula. If the proof is not fine for you, although you can just sit and observe this proof, I think it will be fine. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else you have?
No, ma'am.
Yes, Shidi.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, so in this type of questions, will they give the coordinates, and if they didn't give the m and n value, how we have to solve it?
Yeah, obviously it is not possible. If they won't give m, n, or they won't give coordinate of p and q, then we cannot precisely tell what are the values of x and y. So they always give you these three things: the coordinate of point p, the coordinate of point q, and the values of m and n. After that only they will ask you what are the coordinate for point r.
Or else, if they didn't give means, we should consider the m and n value as 1. We should take both
No,
as
no, no.
1.
No,
Or will
we
they give?
cannot take both as one.
Okay.
They will give.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Prashant.
Yeah, can you please explain this complete with the name example exams of something like that? Maybe
Sorry, what?
what I'm asking you is, can you please explain this with
Hmm.
the example sum or some numerical question? Or maybe if
Oh,
you so then I have joined, immediately, so can you please explain if possible?
With some example, you want some example of this type of scenario, right?
Like some some example questions.
So for example, you can take anything. So suppose this is your line segment with point Q to be 3,2, and suppose this is some 7,8, and I give you the ratio 3:1. Then find the value of R. This type of simple questions only be there, because we can't make anything else. this is the just one problem that we are given two line segment, we given 2 points and ratio, and we have to find value R. This is the one particular example.
Will be given on the question itself, or we need to find?
No, all things will be given to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So please lower your hand if you don't have any doubts. Yes, Ayushman.
Ma'am, I had to ask when we will use m by n equal to x minus x1 x upon x2 minus x, or
For finding the coordinate of x. Here, if you do the multiplication, cross multiplication, find the value of x, you will get this formula. I mean, here if you take m by n is equals to x minus x1 by x minus x2, you will get this formula. And if you take m by n is equals to y minus y1 upon y minus y2, you will get this formula. Okay. Fine. Okay. Let's go to next person.
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
The way in which x and y are represented, there will be some way in which you have to represent. Otherwise, sometimes x1 and y, x2 can get mixed up. So we have to follow some particular rule, na? Means in the sense x1 y1 you gave on q coordinate.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
You can mix up both the ones. There is no order is not important there.
No. Order is not important. Because see here the plus sign is only there, right? So you just have to take care of the ratio. Obviously, m and n, I mean, you cannot say this is m x1 plus n x2. This is not the case, but yeah, for x1, x2, you can take whatever the ratio is important. M x2 should be there plus n x1 should be there. This
So
order
what
is
will
important.
represent x2 and what will represent x1, it may get reversed now if you put it on the other side.
Yeah, but
When
it's
you
depend
represent the
on the
coordinate
choice.
on the
See
other
here,
side.
yeah. So here I take that m ratio is here. I mean, whatever ratio is there, you can take. See, you can remember that. Remember like this. See, m is multiplied with x2 and n is multiplied with x1. M is multiplied with y2, n is multiplied with y1.
Right.
So what you can do? So suppose this is your line segment. So this is the ratio m ratio n. So whatever point here is there, you can take it to be x2 y2, and whatever point here is there, you can take it to be x1 y1. Or if you want to remember the formula I haven't followed the precise formula over the lecture, but yeah, that's the case. That means whatever ratio is here, this ratio should be get multiplied over the coordinate of the next one, and this ratio should get multiplied with the coordinate of this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, it will become reverse. Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, your answer will be wrong. So that's the thing you have to keep in mind. Okay, thank you. Okay, is that fine? So now let's go to the next topic, which is area of triangle using the coordinate. I'm not going to explain the proof of this because here also you just have to remember the formula. So what happens whenever we have a right angle triangle or whenever we have a nice triangle where the height is can be judgeable using the coordinate itself, then there we have a particular formula for finding out the area of triangle. Suppose this is my triangle here. Look like some mountain. So suppose this is the height of a triangle, right? So this is the height of a triangle and this is the base of a triangle. So we know via our previous knowledge that the area of triangle is nothing but 1/2 height into base, right? So but what happened? So this is a one scenario. Suppose this is our coordinate x and y. So here the height and base calculation is very easy. But what happened if we have some random triangle over our coordinate system? So suppose we have something like this type. Suppose I have something like this type of triangle. Okay. So in case of such an irregular triangle, how can we find out the area of triangle? That's our question. So for that, we have one precise formula. Suppose we have points A, B, C. I mean, if we know the vertices A, B, C of our triangle, and the A has coordinate x1, y1, B has coordinate x2, y2, C has coordinate x3, y3. Then we have one formula for finding out the area of triangle ABC, and it's nothing but 1/2 modulus of x1. This will be y2 minus y3 plus x2. You can remember it that it's in a cyclic order. x1, y2, y3, then x2, y3, y1, y3 minus y1, and then plus x3. x3 is there, so after 3 there will be 1, so y1 minus y2. Okay, so this is the formula for any random triangle given in our coordinate plane. So you can easily just use this formula and find out the area of triangle. So is there any doubt over this topic, area of triangle? I think it's pretty easy. If you want to go through the proof, then you can watch the lecture, or else if you have any doubt in the proof, you can ask me. Because if I recall the proof, then it will again take time. So that's the only thing I'm skipping. Okay, is that fine? Okay. So let's go toward the next topic, which is our slope of a line. So slope of a line. So suppose one line is given to us in our plane. So what is the slope of a line is actually? So slope is something that that means if you change over your x, what are the changes happening over your y? So in general, what is our slope? So suppose in our day-to-day life, so what we say that the slope of the stair is 2 1. So that means this such kind of thing is there, that we call such type of thing to be our slope. So same thing happen over the line also. So what happens? Suppose these are the points. So let's name it to be again P and Q. So the coordinate of point P is x1, y1, point Q is x2, y2. So then what happened? What is the slope? So slope is nothing but the change in, it's a ratio. So what's the ratio? So ratio of change in y upon change in x. So the slope, suppose this is my line L. So then slope of L is actually given by this y2 minus y1. That means whatever change is happening in y coordinate, we are jumping from y1 to y2, right? So this is the change happening in y coordinate. So y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, x2 minus x1. So this ratio is known to be the slope of a line L. Now, if we use our trigonometry here, so now if I make a triangle here again, so this is PQ and R, let's take it to be R, then this angle is 90 degree angle. And what is the distance of this line segment? So suppose, yeah, now you guys can tell. So what is the x coordinate of point R? You can unmute yourself, or else you can say
X2, ma'am.
x2.
x2, correct? It is fine for everyone, right? x2. And what is the y coordinate of point R?
Y1, ma'am.
Y1.
Y1. Correct?
Y1.
Right. So why it is x2? Because Q and R are in a same line. So whatever distance covered by the point Q over the x-axis, it will be same for R. So that's why the x coordinate is x2, and the y coordinate will be taken from point P, right? So whatever the distance covered by the point P, it's same for the point R. That's why it's valid. So now what is this PR PR segment? So again, we just have to use our distance between 2 points. So if you find out, if you use that formula, we get the distance between the point P and the point R is nothing but simply x1 minus x2. Or we can take, yeah, x1 minus x2, or we can take x2 minus x1. Again, it's a distance, so that's why. Okay, because x1 will be some here and x2 will be some here. So what is the distance? So it will be x2 minus x2. And the distance of this line, so that means again the distance of QR segment will be nothing but y2 minus y1. So now again, by Pythagoras theorem, we calculate that, not by Pythagoras theorem, we actually observe that the change in y upon change in x, if we do, so this angle. So what is this angle? So this angle is theta, right? So I mean, assume that this angle is theta. So if this angle is theta, then this angle will also theta, because we know if we have two parallel lines, suppose we have two parallel lines, and if some line intersect these two parallel lines, then whatever angle make here, that angle will also, that will be same over this over here. I mean, these are known to be some adjacent angles, if you guys remember. So that's why this angle theta will be same as the, I mean, it will be same as the angle made by the line L with x-axis also. So now, if we observe this angle theta and whatever the expression for our slope is, so it turns out that this slope is nothing but the slope is nothing but tan of theta. Because we know what is tan theta. So tan theta is nothing but this length upon this length, right? So it's some kind of whatever edge is ahead of the angle upon the whatever the base of the triangle is this. Okay. So using the expression of tan theta, it turns out that the slope of a line is nothing but in general the slope is denoted by the letter m. So the slope is nothing but tan theta, where the theta is the angle made by the line with the x-axis. So if I summarize the whole thing, so overall, so if we have a line L, and if this line is making an angle theta with the x-axis, then we say that the slope of line L is nothing but if we have 2 points, then it is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, or else we can say that it's nothing but tan. Okay. So you can give your comments over the slope, or if you have any doubt, you can ask. Yes.
Ma'am, what is the difference between line segment and the slope?
Line segment and the slope.
Yes.
So in general, line segment cannot have slope. See, line segment is, you can say a line bounded by two particular things. So suppose this is one line segment, right?
Okay.
So this line segment is actually not intersecting with the x-axis, and overall it's a finite thing. So line segment, the slope is not defined for line segment, you can say in that terminology. So slope, we talk about the slope only for either for lines, only for lines only. We talk about the slope of functions, but that you can guys study in the week 7 or 8. There also we actually okay, no, we don't have to talk about that. You guys can learn over there also. Okay. So slope is generally defined for the line. Okay, fine.
Sorry, I don't
Ma'am,
know
I have
that.
a
So actually
ma'am,
what
आपकी
happens,
आवाज सही से नहीं आ रही.
आवाज नहीं आ रही, एक second.
That's okay. Okay, now it's okay.
Okay, it's okay now.
Change it to
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So what I was talking that it is see, if you have any line, then it is always the case that this line will always intersect with x-axis at some point. It is fixed thing. If and only if it's not parallel to your x-axis. Okay, so we are talking about non-parallel line over the x-axis. But in the line segment thing, what happened? It is not the general case that every line segment will intercept the x-axis. Suppose you have this line segment, Q and P. Then this line segment is not intersecting with x-axis. So this is the one reason we cannot define the slope for line segment. And although we don't actually want, see here, all things are fixed, right? So at max, I can go to the point P, and at minimum, I can go to the point Q. So we don't actually bother about the change that much. But over the line, we actually want to see what is the change. I mean, what is the change happening in the value of x if we made some changes over the value of y. Okay. Okay. So in general, the
Ma'am,
slope of line segment is not defined. Mhm.
Okay, fine.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, Radhika.
Ma'am, I can't able to understand that how it is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus y1.
See, that's
That-
how we're defining this, defining the slope. This is the definition of slope. So slope is nothing but a ratio which we can calculate using the change in y coordinate upon change in x coordinate. This is the definition of slope.
Ma'am, maybe it will be x1 or y1 in the denominator.
And
This is
slope of a
x1.
line should
Yes.
Thank you.
Are you okay with this justification? That's a definition. See, it's a definition. I mean, that's how we want to judge our slope. So what is the change here over x, and what happen if we change something over y? Because slope actually give you the precise difference. So what I mean to say, so suppose someone gives you that the slope of line L is m, right?
and they say that the change in x2 minus x1 is something 5. Then what is the change in y2 minus y1? So you can easily compute that what is the change in y2 minus y1. So it's nothing but slope multiplied by 5 using this formula, right? So that's the definition of slope. So what is the change in y over the change in x? Okay. Yes, Alok.
Ma'am, I have a dot in just a previous topic, that is area of a triangle. Can I ask about it?
Yeah.
Ma'am, you discussed here two cases. First case that we studied in previous, according to previous knowledge, 1/2 into b into h, right? We can find the
Sorry,
area of
what?
triangle through this formula. According to previous knowledge, we can find the area of the triangle 1/2 into b into h, right?
Yeah.
And my question is, ma'am, that when we find the area of triangle through this formula, 1/2 into b into h, and again we find the area for the same triangle through coordinate system, then both become same, na?
Both become same.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And I have also a question in a slope of line. Please scroll, please, ma'am.
Yes. Is that fine?
Yeah, ma'am. Here, m is the slope of line, right?
M is the slope of line.
Yeah. M equal to, you wrote here y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1.
Yeah, right. y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x.
We can write here x2 minus x1 upon y2 minus y1, or not?
No, actually what is happening here, y is calculated using the values of x. So that means why we can't write is here. So in general, what happened? So this is the thing related to some physics or some application type. So whenever we have x-axis and y-axis, and we you can say that this line is actually giving us some information about some quantity. Suppose over the x-axis you denote your time, and over the y-axis you denote your distance. So in general, what happened over the y-axis, whatever quantity is there, that quantity is dependent on our x-axis. So that's why we always eager to know what is the change in y with respect to change in x, because x is in our hand, y is not in our hand. So that's why we take y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x. If you reverse it out, then you have to take y-axis to be in place of x-axis and then vice versa. So that's why we cannot say the slope is x2 minus x1 upon y2 minus. Okay. So this is the one reason. That's why the slope is defined by this thing. This is the definition of slope. So if someone asks you what is the precise definition for the slope of any line, so you say if we have 2 points over that line, then whatever the ratio will be ratio in the y coordinate upon the whatever the difference in y coordinate upon the difference in x coordinate, that will be our slope. So that's why the slope is defined like that. Okay, is that fine? So your question was, why cannot we take it to be x2 minus x1 upon y2 minus? So the explanation for that is, so since in many applications we just take y to be our dependent thing. I mean, y is some kind of dependent over x. So that's why we always take this kind of ratio. And that's why the slope is defined like that. Okay. Is that fine? You can say yes. No. For denoting it via the m, I don't have any particular. I don't think there is any particular line, or for the m, I don't know. Actually, so many people denote slope by m only. So that's why. Yes, Akash.
Yes, I just wanted to know if theta is 90 degree now.
Yeah, so this is another remark I want to say. So suppose if you have line which is parallel to your y-axis, we have two type of lines, right? So suppose this is your line, since it's a parallel line to our y-axis, the slope of this line is slope of this line L is not defined.
Okay.
But it actually make an 90-degree angle with x-axis. Why it is not defined, you can check easily. So now here you can actually give a reason for this, that why it is not defined. So suppose I will take any 2 point over this line. Suppose this point is x, or I can take, let's take it to be very precise. Let's take it to be 3, 0. Suppose this is 3, 0. So this is a point A. Now what is the coordinate of point B? Anyone can say? Suppose this is your 8. Then what are the coordinate of point B? You can mention in the chat. Okay, so since the x distance is 3, the y distance is 8. So if you use the definition of slope here, what is the definition of slope? So it says that y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. But here when we have one parallel line, a line which is parallel to y-axis, so here if we apply our definition, then what is happening? 3 minus 3, and in the numerator what we have? We have, suppose this is my x2, y2, and this is my x1, y1. Okay. So then in the numerator, I have 8 minus 0. So that means what I am getting? 8 by 0. And we know that 1 by 0 is not defined. So this is not defined. You guys should remember now. Okay. So whenever you have 1 by 0 kind of thing, so yeah, it is denoted by infinity, but infinity is just a symbol. It's just a way to say that this quantity is not defined for us. Okay. For time being, you can say this thing. So that's why the slope for a line which is parallel to y-axis is not defined, because we get some kind of this thing, 0 upon 0 type of thing. Okay. Yeah, for perpendicular line or the line which is parallel to y-axis, the slope is not defined. Okay. Any other doubt over this particular scenario when we have a line parallel to y-axis? Yeah, that's another reason 1090 degrees not defined, so the slope was also not defined. But if we go via the definition, then this will be much more suitable, because tan theta is a conclusion of our definition, right? It's not a definition for us. We define slope via y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, and then we concluded that it is equal to tan theta. Okay, fine. Yes, Anu. Hello, you're not audible if you're saying something. Let's go to Hari then. Sorry.
Right. So I have two doubts. One is that just now whatever you're talking about the angle. So invariably of the quadrants, this will be the same formula that is there here. Now we are in the positive quadrant and with the thing. It's also the case with any of the 4 quadrants.
Any of the 4 quadrants, we have the same.
And in the previous thing where you're talking
Ma'am, if can I ask?
1 second, Anu, just please let Hari complete, then I'll complete. Yes.
Sorry. In the previous case where you are talking about the triangle, area of the triangle, where you have the very kind of triangle of any shape that you define.
Yes.
So again, in a case whether it's an equilateral or thing, any acute, it doesn't matter. The formula again applies to all sorts of.
Right. It also follows
what...
whatever shape you have. Suppose I have the same type of triangle. Here also, if you apply this that formula, you will get the same area. If you apply 1 by 2 BH, or if you apply our formula, this coordinate formula, you will get the same answer. There won't be any difference. Okay.
So this coordinate formula is a substitution of half BH. That how can I think about in that case? I mean, what we would...
See, I mean, coordinate formula is helpful when we have such kind of regular shape. But you are asking for proof or any idea how we come up with
I'm talking, for example, instead of a regular half half BH formula, like if I try to substitute with this half into x1 into y2 minus y3 and so on and so forth. So will I get, will I get the same result, or it's going to be
No, you will get the same result.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, Anu, you can ask them.
Ma'am, what if a line is perpendicular to y-axis? If slope is defined or not?
No, the slope is not defined. We just discussed it. Why the slope is not defined? Because of this thing. Here, what happen if we have a line? No, you are asking about perpendicular. Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I thought parallel. Okay. So yeah. So if line is perpendicular, so suppose this is your perpendicular line. This is the line L. This is the x-axis, and this is the y-axis. Okay. So here also, if we apply the definition, so again, I'll ask you guys. Suppose this is please mute yourself for now. So this coordinate, suppose this this point A. So the coordinate of point A is again take 8 and 0. So this value is 5. Then what are the coordinate of point B? Write in chat box quickly. Okay. 5, 8, correct? Why 5? Because of this distance. This distance is 5. That's why it's 5. Why 8? Because this distance is 8. Now here, if you apply the slope definition, then the slope of line L, so the m for this line L is y2 minus y1. So here, if I do y2 minus y1, I get 8 minus 8, 5 minus 8. So that means the slope is 0. So that's why we say if we have a line which is perpendicular to y-axis or which is parallel to x-axis, then the slope of that line is 0. Okay. So we have first result is, so if L is this is sign for perpendicular. Okay. So if L is perpendicular to y-axis or parallel to x-axis, then the value of slope is 0. And the second case is when your L is parallel to y-axis and perpendicular to x-axis, then your the value of slope m is undefined, not defined. Okay, and we just discuss why the reason is. Okay. Yeah, the slope between these 2 points you can calculate easily. Okay. Fine. So now let's go to the next topic, which is yeah, the same thing. So I'll just quickly go through this. So suppose you have two parallel lines. I'm sorry. Okay. So suppose you have two parallel lines. So suppose we have these two lines. So this is line L1, this is line L2. So since these two lines are parallel, again by our geometry result, so whatever angle made by the line L with x-axis is same as L2 with the x-axis is same as the angle made by the line L1 with x-axis. So this angle is alpha, then this angle is also alpha. So here you calculate if you have given the slope. So then what is the value of slope for line L2? So let's say the slope is m2 here and the slope is m1 here. So we know that m1 is nothing but tan theta. Tan and theta is the angle between the line and the x-axis. So here it will be tan alpha, and m2 is again tan alpha. So the result comes that if we have two parallel lines, so if we have two parallel lines, then their slope is equal. m1 is equals to m2. Okay. And the second result is if we have two perpendicular lines. So suppose we have two lines, so which are perpendicular. So suppose these are two lines and it makes 90-degree angle with each other, L1 and L2. Again, the slope I am assuming to be M1 and M2. Okay. So suppose the angle between the line L1 and the x-axis is alpha. So then what is the angle between the line L2 and the x-axis? What is this angle? The uppermost angle? It will be alpha plus 90-degree, right? So this angle will be alpha and this angle will be 90-degree. So it will be alpha plus 90-degree. Okay. So then in this case, what is the value of M1? So M1 is tan alpha, right? And M2 is tan of 90-degree plus alpha. So now here, if we multiply M1 and M2, what we get? So then M1 into M2 is nothing but tan alpha into tan 90 plus alpha. And we know that tan 90 plus alpha is nothing but cot minus of cot alpha. And we know that cot alpha is nothing but 1 by tan alpha. So that's why m1 into m2 is nothing but minus 1. Okay, so this is the result. So if we have two perpendicular lines, then the slope, then the multiplication of their slope is minus 1. So these two results you should remember that if L1 is parallel to L2, then m1 is equals to m2, their slope are same. The second thing is if L1 is perpendicular to L2, then m1 into m2 is equals to minus 1. Okay. Is there any doubt regarding these two results? Because they are important. You can you will see many questions regarding this concept. Okay, got it? Fine. Now that's okay. Now go to next topic will be expression for line. Right. Yeah, representation of lines. Now for representation of line is what is actually mean. So representation of line means we have to we want to come up with some expression which actually give us the whole knowledge about the line. There are some doubts. I'll unmute you guys. Yes, Devansh.
Yeah, ma'am, that you had showed that L1 parallel to L2, then M1 will be M2. That's how that I can't understand.
Okay. So what happen if we have two M1 into M2 is equals to minus 1, this case, perpendicular one, na?
That L1 parallel to which M1 equals M2, then one.
Acha, huh. Okay, so what happened? This is by geometry. See, if we have two parallel lines, suppose you have two parallel lines, and if another line intersect these two lines, so then what happened? These angles will be same. Whatever the angle is here, this angle will be same with this angle. This
Yes,
angle
ma'am.
will be same with this angle, right? So we just use this result. So suppose the line L1 making angle alpha with x-axis, so then the line L2 will also make angle alpha with x-axis only. That means the angles related to these two lines will be same with x-axis. Okay. So, and we know that the slope is nothing but tan of alpha. So if the angles are same, then the slope of these two lines are same.
Means value are same for both lines.
Sorry, what?
Means value are same for the both lines.
Value are same for the both lines because they are making the same angle with x-axis. That's why.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, Alok.
Ma'am, I have a little doubt.
Hmm.
Ma'am, you when we take a line segment, right? When we take a line segment, we thought that we can't find the slope of a line segment, right? That's undefined.
Yeah, I mean we actually we won't define the slope for line.
Yeah, ma'am, you told there that the segment is not intersect and not intersect the x-axis, right?
And not every
Yeah,
line
so-
segment intersect with x-axis.
X-axis. But when we take a line parallel to the x-axis,
X-axis. Yeah.
then also,
So here,
so please
so
discuss about
see,
this, ma'am.
but it's a parallel kind of thing. See, line segment is not that much helpful for us. We never talk about line segment in any over any application. The lines are important for us, but the line segment is not important for us. But here what happened, if we have, because this scenario can happen, this parallel with the x-axis can happen. So here we use our definition and the answer. So for your question, I can just say that there is no definition, there is no kind of slope defined for line segment. Okay. How can I give you example for that? So suppose in your real life also there are some things which is defined for some particular thing. Suppose you cannot say that I can make eyes in my TV, right? Eyes is something particular thing related to fridge only. So such kind of thing is happening here also. So the slope is actually a property of line. So if you want to define the slope, you must have a line. And this is a statement for any function. So in upcoming week, you guys will learn about the slope of any function. But there also what happened? We first define a line related to function, and then we say that the slope of this function is same as the slope of this line. So this slope is, you can say, it's a personal property of a line type of thing. Okay, is that fine for you?
Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Shailesh.
Ma'am, in the lecture session, there was another type of line which is neither which intersects neither at 90 degree nor parallel.
So for that we
If
have
you can throw some light. Yeah.
yeah, so this is one kind of line, neither 90 degree nor parallel. Suppose 45 degree. Right.
No, ma'am. That is in this form of cross, and then they are showing
There
like
will be two line, na? Then it won't be one line. If you are saying in form of cross, then this is one another
correct.
line, this is
And
another.
yeah, and then they were saying like there was this lecture about one being obtuse and one being acute, and
Acha,
then
acha, So they are talking
yeah.
about the angle between two lines. Yeah, I'll come to
Correct,
that.
correct, correct. Yeah, okay, okay.
Yeah, I'll come to that. After representation of line, I have the angle between two lines, and after that I'll discuss SSE first, and then we'll go up to this these small things: angle between two lines, distance of a point to a line, and distance between two parallel lines, and these three topics. Okay. After representation of line, I'll discuss SSA because that is little bit confusing also and important also. Okay, fine. Okay, now yes, Bala.
Ma'am, that parallel lines, that example, second example, which looks like this one. Slide up.
This
Yeah,
one?
this is confusing. Yes, ma'am. What is that alpha plus 90 degree? Little bit
So
confusing, ma'am.
actually, we want to judge what is the angle of this line L2 with our x-axis, right? So here one line L1 is there, and this angle is 90 degree, and this angle is alpha. So if you want to find out the whole angle, what I have to do? I have to cover this whole angle. Now, what is this whole angle? This 90 degree angle plus alpha angle. That's why it's 90 degree plus alpha.
It's like M1 plus M2.
M1 plus M2 kind of thing. Because if I want to reach this point, this line L2, while making some angular thing, then what I'll do? I'll start with this here. So here up to I have alpha angle, and up to here I have another plus 90. So that's why it's alpha plus 90 degree.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
That's fine, ma'am. In theoretical questions, they ask for this degree, or if they give another any values like I'm asking that in questions in exams or in grade assignments. They are also asking for the same like thing like theta under 90 degree, 40 degree, such things.
Okay. Yeah,
Otherwise, we have to.
I mean, you have to, we expect you to have a little knowledge over trigonometry, about over the angles and all. So what's your concern here?
I'm asking that. Now clear, ma'am. I think we have to find the M1 and M2, then add it together.
Right.
Then we got answer.
Then we got answer.
Okay.
Just using a little bit of trigonometrical result. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. The trigonometry. I'm a commerce-based student.
Oh, okay.
That's why the tan and cot theta little bit confusing.
Yeah, I can understand. But I'll suggest you just go through the basic trigonometry, the 10th level trigonometry. Just go and revise once because that will be helpful in the upcoming weeks also.
Yeah, ma'am. I will go through that and write on.
Yeah. Or else in your free time, you can just watch some YouTube lectures. That will be much more helpful over the reading. Because in reading, it will take time, but YouTube lecture, you can easily cover. Okay. Yes, Arun.
Hi, madam. Madam, now, so I have one question. We have the, assume we have the 2 points.
Okay.
So if we have the 2 points and we found the slope, okay. If
Right.
reversing, for example, instead of y coordinate number, we can consider say, x coordinate, and x coordinate number we can consider say y coordinate. Like that, if you are inverting the points, then the slopes when you calculating slope, it will be same or different, madam.
That means inverting the points means you want to say this thing y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. This is same as this.
No, not like that. For example,
If you
for
okay, if
example,
you
for example, one point we are considering 5, 6 means so same we can but reverse order we can take. So 6, 5. So whatever y coordinates we are taking x and whatever x coordinate we are taking y. So if the both equation, if you calculate both equation, the slope, how the behavior of the slope, madam?
Okay, so if you consider this kind of thing, so suppose then the slope will change over 1 by. I mean, if you have this is your 0.5,
For
6.
example, for example, can you note down what 2 points? I'll just give the example. So
Yeah.
point 1 is 5, 6, and point
Suppose
2
this is
is
5,
4,
6.
8.
Okay,
Okay.
so suppose this is
Yeah. Then this is the one set of points, 2 points, and another two set of points is 6, 5 and 8, 4.
Okay, so then there will be something. This is 6, 5.
And
Sorry, here will be 6, 5 and 8, 4.
4. Yes.
So something like here 8, 4. So what happened to the slope of the line?
Yeah, we need to understand the slope behavior, how it will behave. If you are taking
actually,
reverse order.
Okay. So actually what happened? The slope will change over 1 by n. So see, here you have 2 points, so that means you can make a line here, right? This line will be L1. So the slope of line L1 can be calculated via these 2 points. But now if you reverse the x coordinate and y coordinate, you will get some another line. So this is the line L2, and the slope of this line will be 1 by the slope of line L1. Because you can observe that the angle between these two quantities are 90 degree, and we just learned that the multiplication will be, m1 into m2 will be -1. So if we have m1, we can calculate m2. Means m1, m2 will be -1. So m2 is equals to -1 by m1, -9 with the reciprocal. This thing will happen if you reverse all the conditions.
Okay, so the slope also it will come inverse. So
Inverse with the minus sign.
Okay, understood.
Okay. Okay, so now let's go toward the representation of line. So I was talking about what do we understand by representation of line, right? So representation of line means we want to come up with some expression which actually give us all the knowledge about our line. So that means if we have 1 point, so suppose I have some expression here, let's name this is some expression, any expression you can assume. So I want this expression to justify my line fully. So what does that mean? So suppose I have any point A, B, any point P, then using this expression, I am able to understand that this point is lying on my line or not, lying on the line L or not, right? So this is the main aim for representation of line. So ultimately, we want to come up with some expression which can justify that a point is lying on my line or not. And the second thing is, using this expression, we can draw the graph of a line, right? We can graphically construct or graphically demonstrate our line. Okay, so that's the aim for us. So now we will discuss the representation of line over 3 stages. So first thing is if I have a horizontal line. Okay. So horizontal line is there. So horizontal line means a line which is parallel to x-axis or perpendicular to y-axis. This line L. is the such kind of line is known to be horizontal line. They are parallel to x-axis. So the equation of line for such kind of horizontal line is given by the point where this line intercept the y-axis. Because what happened over this line, if you consider any point, so suppose I consider this point, and suppose this distance is -5. So the coordinate of this point will be -5 comma, suppose this is 4, -5 comma 1. If I consider here, then suppose this is -1, then the coordinate of this point is -1 comma 4. So the only fixed thing is here is the y coordinate, which is 4. Okay, so that means the expression for this line or the equation of this line is given by y is equals to 4. So in general, if I have any horizontal line, so this is in general case. So in general, if I have any horizontal line, then the equation of that line is given by its y-intercept. So y-intercept means the point where our line is intersecting y-axis, and x-intercept means the point where my line is intersecting with x-axis. Okay, so here the y-intercept is b, so that's why the equation of such horizontal line, or the you can call it to the equation, that will be more precise. So the equation of such kind of line is given by y is equals to b. So this is one scenario when we have horizontal line. So if we give y is equals to b, then I can ultimately say that okay, such point, if someone gives me some point with coordinates, then I can easily tell that this point lying on my line or not, right? So it's a valid justification for any horizontal line. So if you have any horizontal line, so the equation of that line is given by y is equals to b, where b is their y-intercept. Y-intercept means the point where my line is intersecting y-axis. Okay. Same condition happen for vertical lines also. So if we have a vertical line, so suppose this is my vertical line, so it is cutting over x is equals to a. So then the equation of vertical line. So the equation of this line is given by x is equals to a. Okay, so for vertical line, we will express our line using the x-intercept, and for horizontal line, we will express our we represent our line via the y-intercept. Okay, why we are doing that? Because y-intercept and the x-intercept are enough for me to judge a point is lying on my line or not. Okay. Now the next thing is the general equation of line. So general means, suppose I have a line which is neither parallel to x-axis nor perpendicular to x-axis. Okay, so in that case, what can I say? So suppose this is your line. This is line L. So in this line, if I want to justify, if I want to give all the points, if I want to say that a particular point is lying over my line or not, so what I can do, I can take any random point here and name that point to be x comma y. Okay, and I take a very precise point over my line. You can take anything. So there are 2 to 3 forms of expression of line. So I'll start with the intercept form, y-intercept form, and then I'll go to other forms. So suppose this is your y-intercept. Y-intercept means the point where line is actually cutting to y-axis. So this is y-intercept. Let's name it to be 0 comma c. Okay, and this is the angle alpha. So if I have a line and if I have a point and I have a y-intercept, then we know that the slope of line, so suppose tan alpha is the slope of line M, is given by y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So I am considering y2 to be my y. It will be y minus c upon x2 minus x1. So that means x minus 0. So this is the value of slope. So ultimately what you can do, we can have an expression in terms of y is equals to type of thing. So this will be m is equals to y minus c by x, which is same as mx is equals to y minus c. So that means which is same as y is equals to mx plus c. Now this is one expression related to my line L. Now if I have any point, suppose I have any point P with the coordinate a comma b. So then how can I check that this point is lying on my line or not? So I'll just substitute here in this expression. So that means if this b in place of y, I'll substitute b is equals to ma plus c. So if b is equals to ma plus c, then the point P, which is with coordinate a comma b, lies on L. So that means this is again a valid expression for my line, for expressing a line. Okay, so that's why this is known to be the general equation, or some people known to be the slope intercept form of a line. Okay. So if you guys have any doubt over this concept, you can ask me. Raise your hand, I'll unmute you. No doubts? Okay. Okay, there's one. Yes, Alok.
Ma'am, at last you were just discussing about the verification of a point on a line,
Huh?
right? Yeah,
Yes.
here A comma B, right? And you told here that we can put up the value of A and B in the equation in the equation y equal to mx plus c, right?
Right.
And here, yeah, here LHS equal to RHS, then that means the P lies on the line.
I'm not able to hear you. Hello? Am I audible?
Hello. Yeah,
Yes.
ma'am. Ma'am, we put the value of A comma B, A and B
Huh?
on the basis of equation y equal to mx plus c, right?
Right.
When we get B equal to m plus c, that means
Hmm.
LHS equal to RHS.
Huh, right.
But ma'am, here we have the value of A and B according to the point. But what about C, ma'am?
Yeah, M and C is given to you. I mean, they will be given to you. Here I'm taking general case. For any line, suppose I will give you the line, suppose I will give you this picture to you. Suppose this is your line, this is the coordinate 0, 1, and the angle is 45 degrees something. Okay. So then here also the M and C is given to you. These are given.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, clear.
Yeah. Because if M and C is given to us, then only I can express my line fully. Right.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sorry.
Could you please just guide me through the first one, the horizontal line that you are talking about, not the very first one that you.
This one, horizontal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually in horizontal line, what is happening, if you compute the coordinate of any point, then the y coordinate will be fixed, which is 4. This is a fixed thing. So we use this property that, okay, something is fixed to me. So if I have a point and a point will always have two coordinate, x coordinate and y coordinate. So if the y coordinate of that point is similar to my line L, then that point obviously lying over this line L, right? Because it will cover y distance, 4 unit y distance. So it will lie somewhere in my line, somewhere over my line. So that's why the expression or the equation for horizontal line is given by the y-intercept. Whatever the intersection point is here, that is the equation of horizontal line. Y is equals to b. So what's the doubt? I mean, what are the things you're not?
No, because something I feel like some void here, because when you maybe I can go through the video again to what you have said, but I feel like I just the one that you explained for the horizontal, I mean for the vertical line I was able to understand, but for horizontal line I feel that I'm not getting it the clarity that because I do understand the y-intercept is the thing B, but when you come for the level when you draw a parallel line when you are doing it, something I'm actually missing out there.
Okay. Yeah, just try to yeah, it's actually helpful if you just sit and try to understand. Because if you understand this case, then you definitely understand this. There will be some confusion, but yeah, you can.
I'll go through. Thank you.
Yes, Abhinav.
Ma'am, in the slope intersect form, what is here x and y?
X and y are coordinate of any point, any random point. So here I am taking a point which is lying on my line, x and y. So if you have a point which is lying over line, and that coordinate if you put, it will satisfy. So here x and y are coordinate of a point lying on line L. Spelling of lying on line L. Okay. Yes, Arohi.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, I have doubt. Ma'am, while I was watching the video, there when sir was explaining about the parallel lines, that is when the slope of two lines is equal. So then
Yeah,
you can say that tan alpha equals tan beta. So
yeah,
yes, ma'am. So
huh,
then he said that since both are equal, we can
huh,
take alpha equals to beta. That means two lines are parallel. But ma'am, I was having a doubt because we cannot take like when we have tan theta, we cannot take it to be equal to theta. We can take it to be equal to theta only under
huh,
some condition, that is when theta is very small. But sir said that
huh.
since we are fixing the limit, that is the value of theta will be between 0 to 180 degree, we can take it
Okay.
to be equal to theta. But ma'am, how can we take it?
Yeah, I mean, for parallel line, we always have the same angle with x-axis, right? Why? mm, You are talking about which lecture? Is the Hindi lecture or the Madhavan sir's lecture? Are we? I'll ask you to unmute. Yes. Okay. So I'm not sure about that thing that they can write, because if we have tan alpha is equals to tan beta, then we cannot immediately imply alpha is equals to beta, although tan alpha is equals to tan beta is there. Then yeah, we can imply although tan alpha is equals to beta, because yeah, we are in so you can this thing is happening because we are taking slope over the 180 degree. That's the correct thing, because what happened, tan theta is a bijective function. So yeah, so there in that lecture, sir says that if tan alpha is equals to tan beta, then we can imply alpha is equals to beta. This is happening because if you observe the function, if you take a function from 0 to 180 degree, this 180 degree is also known to be the pi. Not 0 to 180 degree also, it's actually it's minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, but then it's a bijective function. So because of this bijectiveness, the sir is actually saying that thing. I think so, because I haven't gone through the. Yes, Aruhi, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, I was unable to unmute. I was trying but couldn't do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, can you please explain what is this like biject? Acha, yes, we have done this bijective function, but in this case, how can we?
So in this case, I will try to explain you with the using graph. I mean, if you plot the graph of tan theta over the domain minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, because 10 is not defined for pi by 2, right? 90 degree, 10, 90 degree is
It
not
is
defined.
not defined, yes, ma'am, for 90 degree.
So over this range, over this minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, if you try to define the 10, then tan theta will have graph something like this. Okay, it will cut the origin. So here you observe that over this domain, over this range, minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, our tan theta is actually a bijective function. Why it is bijective? Because over this domain, it is its range is the whole y-axis, because it's going upward toward infinity and downward also toward
It's
infinity.
minus
So the
infinity.
range is minus infinity to plus infinity. And over this domain, if you draw any horizontal line, then that line intercept with the graph exactly once. So that's the reason for being injector or 1, 1, right? So over this interval, minus pi by 2, pi by 2, 10 is, you can say, a bijective function. But for 10, actually what happen for 10, if you try to, what you can say, extend this graph. So after pi by 2, if you travel a distance of pi, that will be your 3 pi by 2. And
Yes.
here also, if you draw the graph, then the graph kind of look similar to this previous one. This graph will be the 10 graph. So what happened? In case of minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, or if you consider 0 to pi by 2 also, your 10 will be bijective only. But what happened here, you will consider this graph for 0 to pi by 2 union with this graph for pi by 2 to pi. So if you consider this these two graphs, then ultimately your tan is bijective over these two kind of thing also. So that's why sir says
So,
when
ma'am,
we
this
have
will be okay. So that means, ma'am, this will be applicable only in case of bijective function. There only we can
only
say
case of only in case of bijective function you can say this. Tan alpha is equals to, because see, this is this expression, na? F of x is equals to f of y. Since we
yes,
have
ma'am.
1 so implies x is equals to 1, right?
Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. It's good to Adarsh. Yes, Adarsh.
Ma'am, can you go to horizontal lines where you
Horizontal. This one, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
Like the equation for that line you given y is equals to b.
Yeah, y is equals to b.
So how all the points in the line this satisfy this? I'm not understanding.
Okay, fine. So see, if I give you this line, suppose this is my point 5, and if I give you this line L, and if I say that find the coordinate of this point P, then what will be your answer? For x coordinate, obviously, suppose this is the -10 distance, then
-10, 5.
-10, right? Now, suppose this is -4 distance, then what is the coordinate of this point Q? -4, right?
-4, 5. Yes.
So that means if you consider any point over this line, any point, does not matter how large. Suppose this is some 10K. So then what is the coordinate of this point?
Then 10K,
Comma.
5.
Right. Because of this distance is invariant. Right. This 5 distance is invariant. That means we are not changing this distance, whereas we are changing our x, but we are not changing the distance 5. So that's why this 5 is a very precise value for our line L. So in case of 5, you can consider any point B. So that's why this, and since it is the y coordinate, right? It is not at the x coordinate, it's the y coordinate. So that's why we are saying that the equation of a horizontal line is y is equals to b. In
Okay,
case
so
of vertical,
we can say that for y is equals to 5, the line will be unique and means by not considering x-axis. X means x variable.
I mean x variable is changing, so that's why we are y variable is fixed, so that's why y is equals to b is the equation.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. What's your
in that
yeah.
angle, in that intercept form which you showed just now, why did you show 45 degrees? No, up, little up. Yeah, why did you
This is
show
a
45
precise
degrees?
example. I'm giving you the example. If 45 degree you can take, because it's easier to compute 10, right? 10, 45 is 1. Someone asked that MNC is given to us or not. So I'm just giving the
See, if
example
MNC
that
is given
MNC.
and we just want to find the point line, then you substitute in that and then you go to right hand side equal to left hand side. So then you can say the point lines lies on the
Right. That's the main purpose. Okay. Yes, Nityashri.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can I ask the doubt regarding practice assignment of week 2?
Can you ask in the next session, because if I go there, then it will take time, na? Although I can give you hint, you can just quickly tell me the question. What question you have doubt?
There was a question with a table given. where approximate energy used were given for
Okay, SSC question. This question will be based over SSC. Yeah. So what's the thing?
and then energy consumption in 2025 we used to calculate that.
Okay.
There were records of 1965 and 2015 of different energy type like oil, coal, gas.
Yeah, I got it. What the purpose of that question and what they want to ask?
They have asked the student estimated the energy consumption in 2025. Choose the correct option. It's a big table. Can you tell me how can I solve it?
Actually, it's a SSC question. So either they want you to find out the error or they want you to find out the best fit for that particular data. So yeah, I'm going to talk about that. But see, there are two conditions. So if they want to find out the error, then you just have to apply the formula, the SSC formula, right? But if they want you to find out the what you can say best fit, so whatever constant is there, now you have to approximate very well. So yeah, I'll come to that SSC part. Then that will be much more suitable. Okay, just this one thing. After that, I'll discuss SSC and then we'll end our session. Don't go much further from that. Okay. Fine. Okay, so my goal is since I already introduced you the slope intercept formula, so I'll use that slope intercept formula, that means this formula, y is equals to mx plus c, to derive all the other forms of equation of line. Okay, I don't think this is a way sir have done, but it's the same. You can generate one formula and you can convert all other formulas there. Okay, so this is another form of equation of line. You don't have to remember all the form of lines. Okay, if you remember once, you can easily generate another one, or you don't have to even generate another one. Just remember one form, which is either this form or the line passing through the 2 points. Okay, these two formulas will be much more enough for you if you understand well. Okay, so now this is another form which is known to be the slope point form. So here instead of intercept, so this is a y-intercept, right? So y-intercept means 0, c. This point is given to you. So instead of y-intercept, if I will give any other point x0, y0, then how you can calculate the equation of line? Okay. So since this point is given to you x0, y0, and it is given that it is a point over the line L. Okay. So it is a point over the line L, and this is the slope of line L. So since it is a point over the line L, so if I want to find out, I just want to find out the value of C. So what I'll do, I'll just substitute there. So then it will be y0 is equals to mx0 plus C. And I can calculate the value of C from here. Y0 minus mx0, right? And substitute the value of C in my original equation of line. So using a point and slope, what are the equation of line? Y is equals to mx plus C. So instead of C, I'll put y0 minus mx0, right? So it is same as y minus y0 is equals to m times x minus x0. This is known to be a point slope formula. Instead of y-intercept, we have a point. Okay. Now instead of 1 point, if I have 2 point and no slope, then what we can do? So 2-point formula. So if we have 2 point, name it to be x1, y1, x2, y2, then we know that the slope is nothing but y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So just substitute the slope here, you will get your form. So it is y minus y1, instead of m, we have y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 and x minus x1. Okay. Now, suppose I erase one of the information that not erase, I'll give you much more particular points. So instead of 2 random points over the line, if I give you the x-intercept and y-intercept, then what is the equation of line? So this is known to be the intercept formula, intercept form of line. Okay, so suppose I have x-intercept, so x-intercept is A, y-intercept is B. So if x-intercept is A, so that means line intersecting with x-axis at a point a comma 0. So that means it is passing through the point a comma 0. If y-intercept is B, so that means a line intersecting the y-axis at a point B. So that means the y-intercept will be 0 comma B. So we have again 2 points. So using 2-point formula, I can just generate it. So it will be your, if you just calculate it, x by a plus y by b is equals to 1. So this is your intercept form. So I'll just suggest you don't remember all the forms, just understand these forms, y is equals to mx plus c, and more than that, this these two are same important. This 2-point form, y minus y1, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1, x minus x1. All other form you can easily generate via these two formulas. Okay. So any doubt over this equation of line forms? Yes, Deepak.
Hello, ma'am.
Huh.
Ma'am, I have a doubt in question reading practice.
We can take all the doubts over activity practice in the other sessions. Okay. This is particularly dedicated to theory. So your voice is not
Can you
clear,
give little
Deepak.
hint because I have solved all.
Okay, so you can just
Am I
tell me the
audible?
question. I'll try to give you something.
Okay. So,
Hello.
ma'am, this question regarding to diagonal. Yeah.
Diagonal what?
Diagonals are with one vertex at 0, 0 and bisect each other perpendicular at point 1, 2. So further, let one of the diagonals be on a straight line y is equal to 2x. Then which of the following is our correct statements? Like it's question regarding to diagonals.
Your
No,
voice is not clear, Deepak, so
so,
I'm not able to understand anything.
okay, ma'am.
You can write it down in chat.
I'll
I'll read and answer.
okay, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, Abhinav.
Yes, ma'am. I want to know why every question is starting from y is equal to.
So see what happened. In general, if you go toward the application side of mathematics, so what happened? Y is a dependent quantity. So, for example, if you have seen some graphs or plots, so what happened? We take x to be an independent quantity. That means this is in our hand, so it is independent. And y is something which is depending on x. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I'm listening.
So what happened here also, if you say equation of line mx plus c, so if you fix the value of x, you will get one fixed value for y. So y is some kind of dependent thing over the x. That's why we always write y is equals to in terms of some x. That's why so many functions also written as y is equals to f of x type of, where f is some expression or the value of x. That's the reason for doing that.
Okay, because in y-intercept formula y is equal to mx plus c, and in also x-intercept formula y is equal to m in bracket x minus d.
Right. So
both
in
are
general also we just apply y is equals to, so that will be much more easier in application point. Is there some lag is happening in my voice?
No lagging.
Okay.
Ma'am, one thing also in the x-intercept equation, y with c, why it is written as d? Y is equal to mx minus
No,
d.
you can change it accordingly, but so many, the traditional book follows this C, D and M.
Hello, your voice is gone.
I don't think there is one particular reason for that. I haven't read anywhere. For M also, I don't know why they denote slope by M.
Okay, and if I know the value of x, then can I can find the value of y from using this.
That's the purpose. Yeah. If you know the value of x, you can find the value of y.
In both and x-intercept, in both, I will put the formula of x. I will get the same answer for the y.
In any form, if you put the value of x, you will get the same answer.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. The next person is Shri Devi.
Ma'am, if they given the equation of a line and they ask to find the slope, x-intercept and y-intercept, so from the equation of the line, how we can find it, ma'am?
See, whatever form is given to you. So suppose this equation of line is given to you, 38 plus, sorry, not 38. Let's take 38 plus 5x minus 9y is equals to 0, right? This is an equation of line. So what you can do, you can convert it into one of the known form. So for my purpose, I always convert into y is equals to mx plus c form, because I think it's easier. That's why. So if you first convert your equation of line into one of the known form and then compare the quantities. So that means here if I convert into this, then my y is nothing but minus 5 by 9 and minus 38 by 9, right, of x. So here if you compare with y is equals to mx plus c, this minus 5 by 9 will be your m and this minus 38 by 9 will be your c. Now I have m and c, so I think I can find out anything, whatever the things they will ask. Okay. So the main point is you have to first convert into your known form and then calculate. Is that fine?
Yes, ma'am. In the intercept form, x by a plus y by b is equal to 1. So, what's the value of a and b, ma'am?
Yeah, so if you convert this into intercept form, then you have to do something like this. Then it will be 5x minus 9y is equals to minus 38. So x by minus 38 upon 5 you have to do. And then plus y by 38 by 9 you have to do, then it's equal to 1. So here the value of a is minus 38 by 5 and the value of b is 38 by 9. So that's how you have to do. So that means you have to convert into pure x by a plus, this plus sign is also important. Y by b is equals to 1. Okay. Then after that, you have to compare the quantity.
Okay, so whatever they asked, we try to like put in the form of the intercept or either intercept or slope intercept form, anything like that, and then we have to solve.
Right, correct. Then compare and then whatever they ask, give the value. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Yes, Shailesh.
Ma'am, I just wanted to understand in this equation y is equal to mx plus c. C is always the y-intercept, right?
C always be y-intercept.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, thanks.
Now, yes, Deepak have let diagonal of okay, so this is for Deepak. He asked one question that suppose some figure is there. So this is known to be, what is the name? I'm not remember. And the quantity, two vertices are given here, and the vertices are okay. So the one vertex is given to you 0, 0, and they say that these are the two diagonals, and they intersect at a point 1, 2. And they say that one of the diagonal is lying over the line y is equals to 2x. So here you observe this, this is y is equals to 2x, right? So if you take the value x is equals to 1, y is equals to 2. So that means this diagonal is actually sitting over the line y is equals to 2x. Now I think this figure will solve your questions, whatever they ask. And here observe that the angle between these two lines, so whatever line passing through this another diagonal, this line L, is actually, this L is perpendicular to y is equals to 2x. So then using this thing, you can answer. This is for Deepak. He asked some question. Okay. Okay, so it's 10 already. I don't think I can start with SSC, but I will give you some motivation about SSC, and in the next session, we continue with SSC. Okay. So what is SSC? Hello, am I audible? Yes, okay. So, what is SSC? So what happened in practice, if you go to some physical thing, if you want to apply your mathematical knowledge over some physical thing, so what happened? Some data points will be there. So that means, suppose I'll do an experiment. So I'll go to, suppose I run a business. Okay. So you can consider this expression type of thing. Suppose I run a business and there I have two quantities. First quantity is my investment, and the second quantity is my profit. Okay. So now I have some data points there. So data points means I have invest some amount in my business, and over the year I have some particular amount of profit. So suppose in some first year I invest 1 lakh and then have a profit of 10%. Then I have invested 2 lakh, I have profit of 15%. Then I have invested 2.5 lakh, I have profit of some 20%, and then fluctuate about 5%, 6%, something, right? So such kind of experiment can happen over the real in the real life, right? And here you have a data set. So what is this? This is your data set. I mean, it's not the definition of data set. I'm calling it to be your data set. You have some points. You have ultimately you have one independent quantity and you have one dependent quantity, right? So now, if someone so what's my purpose is, so if I have a large amount of data set, my purpose is to find out an expression which justify my data set. Justify my data set means which actually give me the whatever the thing we did for line. So if I have a point, then my expression should justify the equation of point. So what I want an expression. I want an expression which justify this data set. Because if I find out the expression which justify my data set, I am able to compute the amount of profit at any investment. Suppose I say that this table is following the expression y is equals to 8x plus 3. It is not actually following, but let's say it is following some expression y is equals to mx plus c. So now if I know that, okay, my business model is actually following this expression, then I can easily say that I can easily tell at which amount of I can tell what is the amount of investment I have to make so that I can make some particular amount of profit, right? So what does SSE do? So SSE actually give us the error between this expression and this data set. So what is happening here? So here happening is I have some data set. For this data set, my aim is to find a precise expression. Because this precise expression can solve my so many problems, right? I don't have to think about that, okay, if I made such kind of investment, do I make a profit or not? Or if I made a profit, then how much? Or such kind of thing, right? It's a particular example, but you are getting my point, right? Why we want a particular expression for denoting my data set, because I can measure a quantity over some finite limit, over 1,000 points or 2,000 input point. But other than that, if I have suppose 2,050 input point, then what will be the value of my outcome, right? So for that, I need an expression which can tell us the value of my outcome over any point, right? So that's why an expression tell us the error between these 2 points. This is the error, SACC. Okay, so if you have some expression which actually, suppose, obviously it is not possible to get a precise expression for every data set. But if some expression is given to us and they say that, okay, this expression can be related to this data set, then what are the error you are making in between the actual expression of data set and the expression which is given to you? So that error is calculated by SSE. So SSE is nothing but a method to calculating the error between the data set and the expression which is given to you. Okay. So that's why the formula of SSE is also contains some minus sign. So suppose y is equals to mx plus c is your expression, and some data values are given to you. So they let's say some yi's are given to you or some xi's. Then SSE is nothing but summation i's ranging from, and suppose there are some n data points, 1 up to n. So i's ranging from 1 to n, yi's. So these are the y1, y2, and so on. Yi minus this particular value, it will come here. M of xi minus c, the whole square. This is the particular expression. So it's what? So it's an error, na? So this is my data set, right? This is my outcome by data set. And this is my expression, right? This is the outcome given by the expression. Outcome given by the expression. So that's the main motivation of SSE, That SSE will give us the error between the data set and the expression which is given to you. So using SSE, I can try to find out what is the best suitable expression for me. Because if suppose I give you one expression and it will make for this expression my SSE value is 5. Now for another expression my SSE value is 8. For another expression my SSE value is 10. So then obviously when the SSE is minimum, that expression is the best fit for my data, right? Because here I am making the minimum error between the actual output and the output given by the expression. Okay, so that's the job for SSE. So if your SSE is minimum, that expression is known to be the best fit of your data point. Okay, so yeah, we'll discuss about SSE in the next lecture also. But if you guys want to ask something else, something about SSE, you can ask me. Okay. Yeah, I'll share today's class notes in the chat box. Please stay for 5 minutes. Yes, Mohammed. There is one.
Ma'am, take a previous year question as an example.
Previous year question, which one? I'll let you to unmute by yourself now. Huh. Yes. Previous year
Yes,
question,
ma'am.
I think in previous year. Huh.
Is this SSE will
Ma'am,
be
take
in
a
the
previous
syllabus of
No,
the
question as
no,
an
quiz
no.
one?
example.
Wait. I'll just call by name, then only it makes sense. Okay. Yes, Mohammed, you can speak. Hello.
Ma'am, you can take as your wish. I don't have now.
Yeah, so in general, I mean, the simplest example or the simplest thing anyone can ask about SSE is, suppose y is equals to some expression is given to you, let's say 2x plus 1 is given to you, and some data points is given that these are your y's, these are x's. Let's take 1, 0, 1, 0, 3, 4. Then at 1, you can have any values. So let's take 3, 2, 4, 9. So they can easily say what is the SSE here. So you can compute via the formula. So that's the simplest example. Or else, yeah, I'll discuss all the best fit example in the next session. Okay, that will take little time. Fine. Yes,
Yeah, ma'am, I can.
Ashish.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am, I can find the SSE, but can you take the more complex example?
Yeah, I can take in the next session because the time is already done, and I think you guys are doing 2 to 3 classes now.
Ma'am,
So this time, yeah.
is this SSE part will be in the syllabus for the quiz one?
Yeah, it will be in the syllabus.
Okay.
Now, Ashish.
Ma'am, like tell me, like what is the unit of this SSE? Like it's a percentage. It will tell you, okay, this percent, like 5% is it
No,
incorrect or something.
No, see, percentage is one kind of method to say the error. SSC will give us the SSC error. I mean, for percentage, what you will do? So suppose for percentage, you will say that actual value minus given value upon actual value multiplied by 100, right? This is
Yeah.
the percentage error. But for SSC, we don't have any unit. SSC is given by, that's why its name is square root error or something like that. Now, so this E is the error for that. It don't have any unit, but it's a particular error. So as percentage is a one particular error. So if you say 5% error, so or you can say 5%, not 5%. If I make 5 SSC error or 5 SSC, then that's itself is a fixed amount.
Okay, and I will explain one example and tell me it is like a right or wrong. Like,
Yeah.
see, yeah, if I am investing $10,000 for a year, okay, and I make a profit of 15%. So for that, I actually like construct or like define a expression in which I will I will invest X amount and I will get 15% of that. So it's an
Okay.
expression, and SSE
Okay.
will tell me ki what is the the range of like
Error.
error, right?
Huh.
Is it
Yeah,
right?
between your formula and your data, actual data. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the thing.
Okay. And like, is there any like specific value, like a maximum value or a minimum value for SSE?
No, see, maximum value we cannot say, but yeah, minimum value will be 0 because it's a square and a summation of terms, so it cannot go negative. And the thing is, when it is 0, then that expression actually precisely describing your data set. So that's why we want SSC to be minimum, and whatever the expression will give us the minimum value, that will be our best fit.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Yes,
Ma'am,
Hari.
ma'am, why there wasn't any SSC like sums in the graded assignment?
There will be
Ma'am, is it in the week 2 syllabus or not?
week 2 syllabus. Yeah, it is in the week 2.
But why there wasn't any SSC sums
I
in the
mean,
week?
I think whatever the assignment you get, I mean, there will be some shuffling happen. So I think in your set you haven't got any SSC question.
Oh, okay,
Whereas
okay.
overall there are SSC questions.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir, you go on.
Yeah, I have two questions. I do understand because SSC is a very complex topic that needs a lot of time. I do understand it's based on the mean and so on. But other than that, I actually want to know about maybe it's out of the context here. Tomorrow, the schedule of thing what was actually told is morning from 10 to 12 we had a session. But now I see the calendar that the session is being cancelled. There is no entry of the same. In the afternoon, when I thought my calendar was not there, so when I reloaded, I saw tomorrow. Tomorrow the TA he said that tomorrow from 10 to 12 is the session.
Okay.
But now when you're talking about it, I just was going back to my calendar and to see that in the calendar the session is removed. Not only for tomorrow, but even the upcoming weeks also the Sunday 10 to 12 is removed.
Tomorrow, also don't think there's a session because I just talked to
In the
sir
morning
and
it was there. Yeah, morning
okay,
it
yeah,
actually
in
the
morning it
session.
was there. So
Yeah, suddenly.
today's 5 na, tomorrow is 6. So it is mentioned in my, so that session is shifted to 8 to 10 p.m. in the evening.
No, that is open session. I'm talking about the TA session which was there.
Oh,
Because
TA session.
now you're winding up the session. So I just want to this thing whether to ask you. I thought I will. Whether that was.
Yeah, TA session is not there, so I don't actually know why it is not there.
Morning when we had, in the afternoon session when we are actually discussing, the TA who was there, I think I forgot his name, Shikawat, I think. He was actually telling tomorrow we'll meet. But now when we are talking about, you mentioned that tomorrow we'll have a discussion. I just went to the calendar to see the time. And when I realized that the session which was there listed in the morning, in the afternoon, is not there anymore in the calendar.
Okay. So yeah, I'll check with sir. I think we discuss about that not about TA session by instructor session. So I'll check with sir what is happening with TA session.
Thank you.
Just wait for 2 minutes if you guys want the PDF, or else.
Yes. Yeah.
Ma'am, when will you discuss about the rest of the topics?
In the next session, there will be one open session. So we just have one topic, SSC, and the another one, the distance formulas, right? But again, those are the formulas.
And a topic like a straight line fit, so that.
Straight line fit is coming under the SSC concept.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, you guys can ask your doubts. I'm just downloading the notes.
Tomorrow you'll take the question answers, right?
Tomorrow there is one open session, so there also
8 to 10, na?
It is scheduled on 8 to 10.
Okay.
And I think sir will take most probably.
Which sir?
Sorry, what?
Which sir will take?
Vishal sir will take, na? We have 3 instructors. So you guys are just interacting. I have taken you 3 sessions, I think, and Vishal sir has taken 1 session, right? Hello?
Yes.
And ma'am,
Yes.
questions of
Related to the polynomials, when will it come?
In the 4th week.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, can you also share the week 1 summary?
Week 1 summary. Okay, I'll share.
Tomorrow you will discuss SSC.
Tomorrow sir will discuss SSC. I'll tell them that I have covered up to SSC. He will continue from SSC.
Ma'am, is the graded assignment questions, is it really helpful for the qualifier examination?
It is helpful, but yeah, it is helpful. But more than that, I'll say practice assignment. I mean, there are some questions in the graded assignment which are really time taking, right? But in the exam, we won't ask that type of question. But the graded assignment you should solve. This is
Okay.
week 1 summary. So I'll share you one notes, okay? So for week 1.
Yeah, I think somebody was asking you in the beginning about their grades was not visible. I think they have to check their grade part. Am I right? They are like the statistics. I think he is trying to see whether the score is on the top of the graded assignment instead of checking in
Okay.
the graded, which normally we used to have the on the sidebar. We used to have the grades. Am I right? Where it will be highlighted. I think many of people should check there instead of checking the thing.
Yeah, if someone was there who's
So in the
asking you
beginning, somebody was
questions.
asking me.
Ma'am, will the qualifiers be only MCQ questions or there will be numerical type also?
What? I'm not able to get that. Sorry. Which type of question?
Ma'am, will there be only numerical MCQ
No,
or there will be numerical also?
there will be 2 or 3 or 4 options are correct. Whatever thing.
Madam, in the second maths 2 which is there means second this thing there will be 2 parts, na? First part qualifier, first this thing that is session of 3 months, and next of 3 months. That next one which is the foundation, can it be split into 2 parts, 2 terms? Foundation.
Not sure. Actually, I don't know about that. You're asking about math 2, right?
No, second part which is there, we can spread it over 6 months, or that also has to be finished in 3 months.
I think that has to be finished in 3 months.
Acha, both the foundation
Vincent,
3 each.
Vincent, the entire course itself is only for 3 months. So every 3 months, your course will 12 weeks is the maximum time for each course.
Foundation.
Not fun. I'm talking about 8 courses are there in foundation, and each course you have 12 weeks. Whether you do it 4 plus 4 or you want to do 2 each, that entirely is dependent on the learners. But the
Acha, you can do
thing
2
is
per
that
S2?
Sorry?
You can give only 2 exam in this term and 2 exam next term?
No. I'm talking about you can take all the 4 and complete the first math, all the one series. Then you can go for the next term. Then you will go for the next 4. Then you will be able to complete. If you feel that you are not able to complete, you won't be able to take all the 4 courses. Then you can make it as 2 or 3. That depends on the learner.
Acha, in the second session you can do that, huh? Foundation also you can spread it over 2 terms, 3 terms.
Yeah, it is distributed over 2 terms. The first 3.
No, it is distributed over 2 terms. The foundation 1 and 2. There are 2 parts, right? Foundation 1 and 2.
Yeah. So each is 3 months. So each course, for example, the first 4, all the one series, math 1,
First
stat 1,
foundation
English
is
1.
that is compulsory, I think, that you have to complete in for 3 months. The second foundation you can't spread it over 6 months.
No. The first foundation also, the first quarter, the first the quiz, up to the quiz, you will be attending all the 4 courses. But after the this thing qualifier, you can take a call whether you want to continue all
After
the 4
qualifier. Acha, till
after the
qualifier.
qualifier. I'm talking about 27th. After 27th, once the result
After 27th October, you can spread it out over 2
you
terms.
can take a call. You can take a decision whether you will be able to. You want to continue with all the 4 courses, or you want to take only 3 courses. or 2 courses.
Okay, okay, got it, got it.
But also there is a catch. I think there is also the percentage where in which there is you will also get an what do you call kind of a advice from the from IIT saying that based on your score they will actually suggest you whether you will be able to take 3 course or 4 course or 2 course based on your performance in the qualifier.
Even for foundation?
Yes, I'm talking about after 27th.
Acha,
Or after 20th. Because you need to
okay.
register. You need to register after that.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Hello.
Ma'am, Sunday take a PYQ session.
Sunday, Sunday there will be one session, no?
Okay.
PYQ session will be there.
Okay.
Ma'am, Sunday means tomorrow or next Sunday?
Sunday, tomorrow.
Okay.
So we will have sessions on Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday, right? So tomorrow will be one session based on week 2. That will be open session. So in that, sir will cover SSC, and after that the doubts and PYQ, AQs, all those things.
Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Uh,
But there's a 2 topics also: distance of a line from a point and
distance of line
distance,
and the
yeah,
angle between them. Yeah.
yeah,
That
yeah,
also I
distance
had.
between 2 parallel lines also.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you will
Yeah.
discuss about it in next session.
Yeah, I'll tell them to discuss.
I
Thank you.
have basic doubt. Do we have different batches for this thing, or all the students who are taking the math one come under one roof?
All student will come under over one roof, but many of them won't join the live session. I mean, since if we count the number of people who attempt the qualifier exam, there will be 7,000 almost people. But in session, we just see 100, 200 at max, right?
That's what I thought. Like we have multiple sessions with multiple instructors, so
No,
that's the
no.
reason this. Even for the TA also is the same thing, am I right?
For TA also the same thing.
Okay. Because I thought like they have multiple batches and you have several instructors. That's
No.
the reason the numbers are very less.
No, actually, it's not possible although, because
Ma'am,
with the 3 session also we have to adjust all your courses, right? Either it will collapse with stats or English or something.
Yeah, despite that, it's happening. That's also true.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
TA
the
sessions, no one
student.
joins to tell anything.
Yes, Madhav.
In the TA sessions, no one joins. I've joined several times.
So first 2 TA session I think got cancelled or something is happening with that. Actually, I'm not that much aware of TA session. But yeah.
Ma'am, can I leave now?
Just wanted to ask a
So
small thing that
it's
would take just 2 minutes.
Yes, Ashish.
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am, but can I leave the meeting now?
You guys can leave. If you don't have anything, you can leave. I also leave in 5
Okay,
minutes.
okay. Thank you, ma'am.
So you
Thank you,
stop
ma'am. Good
only
night.
till the qualifier.
Wait. What?
Ma'am,
It is tough only till the qualifier because it is having a lot of pressure all the 4 weeks to cover and all.
But that's the syllabus for qualifier.
Yeah, after that you can take it at your ease, right? Na?
No. You have to complete the course within 12 weeks.
Yeah, that is right. 12 weeks you have to complete, na? One.
Foundation,
both the cases, right? Foundation.
Both the foundations.
That means till March it will be tough. After that you can take at your own pace.
Right. After March, I think you can take it.
Okay, thank you. But Hari was telling me no, you can spread it out. That's what I was also feeling. No.
See, actually, I'm not fully sure about this thing. I don't know about the system that much, but you can ask you can ask the support team or you can ask the TAs, okay? Because TAs are students. I mean, they already have done all the foundation courses. So they can give you a precise answer over that.
Fine, thank you.
Excuse me,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
the students who will attend the 27th October, like as a quiz one from foundation level stream,
Yeah.
the level of the quiz one and the qualifier exam will be same or not? Like the syllabus will be same.
Same. The
Okay.
syllabus are same, level will be same. Questions will be different, but yeah, all things are same.
Means question will be different. Like quiz for the quiz one students, question will be different. Qualified and the will be different.
Actually, we make overall some sets. So they will distribute sets randomly. So
Oh,
we are
randomly,
not.
but label will be same, right?
Label will be same.
Okay.
Ma'am, hello.
Yes, Madhav.
I just wanted to ask a small doubt in the coordinate system.
Hmm.
In this one, we have this generalized form which was ax plus by plus c. And with this one, the other equations like slope point form and slope intercept form, this doesn't connect for me. So a little bit of clarification would be great. I mean,
See, if you have general form ax plus by plus c is equals to 0, you can convert it into any of the form and then compare the terms. As I did with that equation, that 5x plus 38 plus 5x, something like that, right? So using this form, you can convert into in some comfortable form you have for, let's say, y is equals to mx plus c or something. And then you can compare the terms. What are the value of m and c? That will be helpful for you, I think.
I'm not able to see the screen. I think I did something wrong.
Yeah, actually, I am not shared any screen.
Oops. Okay. I've tried a number of times, but I was not able to figure out how could I equate those and generalize.
See, whatever form is given to you, fix one form for yourself. Okay, this form is comfortable for me, and then change every line of equation into that form. Okay, then I mean, slowly you will try to observe that what is happening over that form and this form. Then you can understand.
Okay. We can derive all the other interception equations that we have from only one, na?
Any form you will take, you can drive any other form. Just have to multiply and divide by something.
Just algebraic manipulations.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll end this session here. Thank you guys for joining.
Just 1 second.
Yes, Prashant.
What I was going to ask is, is it
Your voice is too low.
am I audible now?
Yeah,
Is it,
you are
is it
audible.
clear?
Huh.
For the qualifier preparation, what is the best way to crack? Like, is it enough to go on the graded assignment and the topics which have been taught in the portal along with the sessions which we are having now, or is it anything that is required, to excel or to learn more about it?
See, from my point of view, I'll say you should set your priorities, because obviously there are huge amount of material present for calculus, right? So first thing is you have to go via the lectures, the professor lectures. If you need, you can go via the Hindi lectures also, but if you need, I mean, it's not compulsory, but if you suppose that something is not clear to you, you can go through the Hindi lecture.
No, I'm very, very clear. Sorry for the interruption. I'm very, very clear with English. I'm basically from down south, okay? So I don't speak Hindi frequently. So I'm very well versed with other subjects. I'm able to crack 90%, 100% in other subjects like English and computer science, computational thinking or other things. But in mathematics, there is a lag. I'm not able to concentrate. I'm a working employee also. Okay, so I'm not able to spend so much of time in learning. If I could have done it, I definitely would have cracked mathematics, because that is my base actually. So it is 12 years of gap for now. Okay. So I'm not able to figure out the solutions or the ways to find the solutions. So to crack the best mark to crack the qualifier with good score in mathematics, what is the best way to go about?
So for you, I'll suggest this: go through activity, practice, and grade it. I think that will be much more sufficient for you. Because as you said that you are comfortable with the higher subjects, then if you go through the activity, practice, and grade it thoroughly without skipping any question or any concept, that will be much more enough.
Okay, it will
It
be
will
like a
score. Yes.
Yeah, tell me, please.
Yeah, you can score more than 85 to 90% with the help of only activity, practice, and grade.
So it is going to be similar questions only, not anything out of the box.
Not similar, but the concept will be same. Yeah, obviously the phrasing will be different, but you can similarity, you can say 50-50 will be similar. 50-50 will be totally different, but again, if you crack these 50%, or if you're able to crack these activity practice, you can also able to crack those which are not similar. Okay.
Okay. So it is going to be something conceptual, but it is going to be a different units and different ways. But the concept is going to be the same.
The concept is going to be same. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, guys. Good night and bye.